What happens when two sisters build their entire identities around love, beauty, and the camera, and then start losing all three at once? Darcey and Stacey Silva, twins born on September 23, 1974, became household names through TLC's reality franchise, 90 Day Fiancé. They were glamorous, loud, emotional, impossible to ignore. But behind the blonde hair, the designer clothes, and the matching surgeries, something painful was unfolding. Failed engagements. Cancelled shows. A marriage that nearly split the twins apart. This is the full story of everything that went wrong. And it starts long before the cameras ever found them. Darcey studied acting in New York, at the Lee Strasberg Institute, and also spent time at the University of Houston and Marshall University. Ambition ran deep in this family. In October 2010, Darcey and Stacey co-founded a clothing brand called House of 11. The name wasn't random. It honored their late brother Michael, who died of cancer in 1998. That loss shaped everything. It's why the twins leaned on each other so hard, why they built together, why they refused to quit. That same year, they filmed a pilot for a show called The Twin Life. It never aired. So they kept pushing, launching their own production company and producing a film with their father. None of it made them famous. But it planted the seed. And in 2017, that seed finally cracked open. Darcey joined 90 Day Fiancé, before the 90 days, with a Dutch boyfriend named Jesse Meester. Viewers watched her fly across the Atlantic chasing a ring. What she got instead was tension, arguments, and a breakup so public and so humiliating that Jesse actually flew to New York just to end it on camera. But Darcey didn't disappear. She came back with a British businessman named Tom Brooks, someone she called grounded, mature, everything Jesse wasn't. That one fell apart too. Tom fell for someone else, and when he finally admitted it, he told Darcey he loved her like a sister. Brutal. And then something stranger happened. Her exes turned on her together. Tom apologized to Jesse. Jesse said they'd both been manipulated. For the audience, it felt like a verdict. For Darcey, it was just more fuel. Meanwhile, House of 11 was actually working. Demi Lovato wore it on an album cover. Nicki Minaj and Jessica Alba were spotted in it too. Darcey was reportedly earning around $15,000 a season from the show, pocket change next to what the clothing brand was pulling in. The business was the one thing holding steady while her love life kept collapsing on national television. But here's the thing, getting their own spin-off didn't fix any of that. It made it so much worse. In June 2020, the sisters got their own show, Darcey and Stacey, premiering that August. It exploded. Over 2 million viewers tuned in for the premiere, making TLC the #1 cable network that night. Darcey chased love with a Bulgarian fitness model named Georgie. Stacey navigated a rocky 5-year relationship with an Albanian fiancé named Florian. The audience was hooked. But season 2 is where everything changed, and not for the better. The twins flew to Turkey for what they called a twin transformation. Fox eye surgery. Corrected nose jobs. Cheek lifts. Fat removal. Full body liposuction. Breast lifts. Their surgeon literally called it Barbie touch-up surgery. The sisters loved the results. The internet did not. Comments flooded in calling it a visual disaster, saying 2 already attractive women had disfigured themselves. And it didn't stop there. By 2024, fans watching a birthday video of Darcey were stunned by how much her face had changed. People said it was heartbreaking. Some said they wanted to cry. Darcey eventually made her Instagram private just to escape the comments. But even that couldn't quiet the noise, because fans weren't just criticizing anymore. They were begging her to stop. And while the internet obsessed over their faces, something far more serious was quietly falling apart behind the scenes, their relationships, and eventually, each other. Darcey and George's relationship became the heartbeat of the entire show. They met when he slid into her messages in 2020. They got engaged. That fell apart. They reconciled, got engaged again on a beach. That fell apart too. By February 2022, Darcey confirmed the second breakup, saying communication had completely broken down. She tried dating again. Nothing stuck. Then, quietly, without fanfare, in late 2023, She married Georgie in a small ceremony with only 20 guests. She didn't confirm it until January 2024. But just 2 months after going public, she was already posting cryptic videos about being strong and independent. Solo vibes only, one caption read. Her team insisted the couple was just going through normal stress. Nobody quite believed it. Stacey's story was no calmer. The twins had relocated to Miami, and the nightlife there reopened old wounds, especially around Florian's history of infidelity. Stacey later admitted it was traumatizing to have him cheat on her publicly. In 2024, the couple appeared on 90 Day, The Last Resort, a therapy retreat show for the franchise's most damaged relationships. And that's where the story took its darkest turn. Darcey revealed that Florian had allegedly gone home with 2 women after a night out. A woman at the same bar reportedly thanked Georgie, saying, "Tell Florian thanks for taking me home." Stacey was devastated. But then it got worse. Florian told Stacey that Darcey had been encouraging him to leave her, telling him he was better off single. Stacey accused her own twin sister of being dangerously entangled in her marriage. A therapist recommended all 3 of them go to counseling together. Think about that for a second, twin sisters, in therapy, because one was accused of trying to break up the other's marriage. By the time of the next tell-all special, Stacey confirmed she and Florian weren't even living together anymore. 2 women who had once walked onto our screens in matching outfits, radiating confidence, were now sitting there with failing marriages and a fractured bond between them. And if you think that was rock bottom, there's still one more piece of this collapse, because the cameras themselves eventually went dark too. In 2023, Darcey and Stacey was cancelled. The 4th season, which aired in January 2023, turned out to be the last. There was no big announcement, no dramatic send-off. TLC simply didn't renew it. Fans kept waiting for a season 5 that never came. And when January 2024 passed with no premiere, it became clear the show was gone for good. For 2 women who had built their entire public identity around television since 2017, that loss wasn't just a career setback. It pulled the floor out from under them. So what happened next? As of mid-2025, Darcey said she and Stacey were in a good place, insisting they'd always have each other's backs, even if they still butted heads constantly. They kept working together on House of 11, and they were spotted together at a fundraiser in early 2025, arriving separately, but showing up at the same place, which fans took as a quiet sign of repair. Darcey's marriage, though, kept swinging wildly. In January 2025, people noticed she and Georgie had unfollowed each other on Instagram. No joint posts since December. It looked over. Then in February, she posted a story of the 2 of them being romantic again, wedding ring on full display. Then in April, a cryptic caption, "God told me. Get away from G." Fans assumed it meant Georgie. Nobody, including the most devoted followers, could keep track of where that relationship actually stood from one month to the next. Stacey's story, at least, found something closer to stability. By August 2025, she confirmed she and Florian were still together, sharing a video of a family trip to Albania. After the cheating allegations, the therapy retreat, and the near-total collapse of her marriage, it seemed like the ground beneath her had finally stopped shaking. Through all of it, the twins kept building. They launched 2 music singles together. House of 11 expanded beyond clothing into beauty, fragrance, footwear, and home goods, still carrying endorsements from names like Nicki Minaj and Jessica Alba. It remained the one part of their story that never fell apart. Both sisters kept showing up across the wider 90-Day Fiancé universe too, Stacey on The Last Resort, Darcey on Happily Ever After, introducing their chaos to a whole new wave of viewers who hadn't followed the earlier seasons. And here's the number that puts it all in perspective. As of 2026, each twin is estimated to be worth around $2 million, built almost entirely on House of 11, television work, cameo videos, and brand deals. That is not the balance sheet of 2 women in free fall. That's the balance sheet of 2 women who figured out how to profit from every single disaster that happened to them. So what do you call 2 sisters who lost their reality show, watched their faces become internet controversy, cycled through broken engagements, secretly married and then hinted at divorce within months, and somehow accused each other of sabotaging their marriages, and still came out the other side building a business empire. Darcey's face changed so much fans stopped recognizing her online. Stacey's marriage survived cheating but nearly didn't survive her own twin. The show that made them famous got cancelled without warning. And yet they kept posting, kept selling, kept reaching for something that always seemed just out of reach. Whether that makes them tragic or resilient depends entirely on who's watching. But one thing is certain, nobody is forgetting Darcey and Stacey Silva anytime soon.